listen, I get it. People are going to be crazy because people are tribal. I'm just not. And I understand now, like, you can be right or left, or you can just be with God. And to be with God means Christ is king, which means truth is king. And you have to stay consistent. I kind of made my name on fighting BLM. Like I did, I think you would say in politics. Some people hated me because I stood up to my own race and said that this is getting ridiculous. Beyond that was not people trying to fight racism, but actually demanding racial supremacy, demanding that you must hire a Black person or 5 Black people, even if they're underqualified, and the white person is better, because this is just the pursuit of equality, which is not. Of course, that's racism. Like, we don't need to go back to a situation where this country is racist. We need equal opportunity under the law and let the better person win. I believe in a meritocracy. And now we're arriving at that exact same thing happening. It's not happening under Biden. It's not happening under Obama. It's happening under Trump, okay? And it is under the guise of fighting anti-Semitism on college campuses. And that this is an epidemic. And you've got the Human Health Secretary, RFK Jr., saying, oh, we have to declare this an epidemic. And what we're really talking about is people voicing opinions against Israel's policies on blowing up Palestinian kids. You can accept that or you cannot accept that. It is just the reality. And if you don't understand how close we are inching to them destroying free speech, and once speech goes, everything else goes, then you need to start paying attention. They are redefining anti-Semitism to even be parts of the Bible. They are saying that it is anti-Semitism, and the Trump administration is pushing this on college campuses, to even suggest that a Jewish person might be more loyal to Israel than they are to America. That's totally plausible. It's totally plausible that a Black person in America might be more loyal to Uganda than they are to America. Look at that. That is like, why are we redefining this? Portions of the Bible? I mean, it's getting crazy. I want you to listen to what this rabbi got up and said as he called for hate speech laws. Okay, this is Rabbi Levi Shem Tov. He is the executive vice president of American Friends of Lubavitch. Here is what he said.
Anti-Semitism is not just an age-old prejudice. It is a contemporary crisis manifesting on campuses across the nation. It is not enough for individuals or institutions to merely claim they are not anti-Semitic. As my father once taught me, it is not enough for people, especially public figures, to be neutral or not be anti-Semitic. One must be anti-Semitic.
That is the exact same rhetoric, okay, as Ibram X. Kendi during the peak of BLM saying it's not enough to be racist, you have to actively be anti-racist. It's the exact same rhetoric, okay? There's no way to slice it. So Matt Walsh, who works for the Daily Wire, obviously recognized that immediately and said this is a page right out of the BLM playbook. The same rhetoric, almost word for word. Everyone should be appalled. But don't worry, Joel Berry at the Babylon Bee is not, except BLM used the phrase very differently. For them, anti-racism wasn't about being against racism. It represented a full-blown color revolution designed to dismantle the West and institute racist DEI policies. That's clearly not how the rabbi is using the word here, don't you think? That doesn't seem clear to me at all, unless you're just an ethnic supremacist, unless you just truly believe. I mean, it's literally word for word. It's just like it's word for word what BLM said. It's not enough. You have to be anti the thing. And it's not even for anti-Semitism, really. It's because this is not helpful to Jews in America. It's for Israel. Like, it feels like Netanyahu is running the White House and Trump's just signing and doing whatever they say. Right? It feels like Netanyahu should be sitting in the Oval Office as they demand hate speech laws and they get what they want. Every day they're announcing something that they're going to do to further support Israel. And that something is now looking to me like a detriment to American freedom. And if you can't see that, okay, it is time for you to take off the rose-colored glasses. Because just because Trump was against all of this in 2016 does not mean that he does not have people that are around him who are for this now that we are in 2025. And I won't tolerate it. If I had the courage to stand up to my race when they were saying these things, I will be damned if you think that I don't have enough courage to stand up to ethnic supremacy as it is now again coming into the country under the guise of hatred for Jews, when in fact it's hatred for Bibi Netanyahu routinely blowing up children and us being told that we're not allowed to speak about it.
Listen, guys, I have been following Candace for a while now, and I have to say, with all certainty that sometimes I really, really admire her courage. She's that person that would rather prefer to stand alone with her own thoughts than stand with the group with the thoughts she doesn't really appreciate. Yes, she's right. She made her name talking or going against the whole Black Lives Matter movement that was in America. Sometimes, most of these things that you guys see, it's not about the movement itself. It's about the elite trying to feel good about themselves. It's about the politicians trying to divide the people. There must be something that they will use to divide the people. I have said this on this platform like a lot, that divide and rule policy is a game the people have played on us time and time and time again. And they keep on playing that same game against us time and time and time again. That's just what they do. Now, the game might change, but the method or the motive behind the game stays the same. Is it about Black Lives Matter? Or is it about DEI higher? Or is it about the LGBTQ movement? It is always about the elite trying to sow a seed of division amongst the people. And the most saddest thing about all this is that we, the people, quickly jump on board. We just can't help ourselves. When popular people come up with things like this, we just follow them. Sometimes the whole idea might come from a common person, but the politicians and the special interest groups and the upper 1% and the billionaires will use their money to infiltrate the movement and then derail everything. Now, Candice might be wrong to have said that the whole BLM movement was about hiring black people even if they are unqualified for the job. I don't think that was the whole thing. The whole thing was that let's make a quota for black people, for minority groups. And the fact that those quotas were reserved for minority groups doesn't necessarily mean that people who are not qualified will be hired. That's not how the whole program was supposed to operate. It was supposed to give special preferences to people of certain races or certain and demography or certain backgrounds. But they too have to be qualified. You cannot just pluck an ordinary Joe from the corner of the street and put him in a cockpit and ask him to fly an airplane because he is African American. That's not how it works. Or you cannot just meet a Mary in a fried chicken shop and then ask her to come and become a surgeon in a hospital and started doing surgery on people because you want to do a DEI hire. That's not how it was supposed to work. You hired qualified people within a certain demography. That was the whole reasoning behind the DEI initiative. But I believe that many Republicans or social media influencers know exactly the purpose or the reasoning behind this initiative. I mean, the DEI initiative, but for some reason decided to just muddy the waters. I believe it. So let's come back to Candace and what she is saying about free speech. Like I said before, free speech is important. I personally love free speech, and I wish my home country was as free as America is. Or I wish I could, or the people in my country, mostly people of my age group, were able to speak out their minds without worrying about the implication. But I wouldn't lie to you, that is not so. That is not so. Sometimes I do cross the line with what I say, but I make sure that I pass my message without stepping on anyone's toes. That's what I try to do. But I would have gone way more further if I were not worrying about my own safety and security. I would have gone a lot more further. So let's be clear here. Freedom of speech and expression is very important. And we all admire America for upholding that value. We hope that as time goes on, we will be able to implement that in Africa. Because this is how it started in Africa. I can remember how this whole freedom of speech and rights were being taken away by the government gradually, and we have gotten to a point where we have none at all. And there used to be some little space, people could express themselves a couple of years or a couple of decades ago. I remember when I was way more younger, so you could talk, you could say some few things before the hammer drops. But gradually, everything has been taken away. Now, before you open your mouth to say anything, the hammer will drop. So you are not allowed to say anything anymore. It's really sad that we've gotten to this level where America now worries about her free speech, and most Americans are speaking out and they are holding the current leader accountable that he cannot do that, that all these laws that he is trying to put in place will not help the country move ahead, but rather will create more division and more chaos in the country. And I think that the whole division part is on purpose. They want us to be separated. They want us to not talk to each other. They want us to be divided. That is the only way they can get away with what they want. Like the saying goes, split the people, govern them easily. Pit the people against each other and easily control all of them.